Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. So this is a December 17th, 2021 check-in. So yesterday I tested the system again. So I always test, and see the response. So I shared that we are going to be a licensed broker in Rwanda. The regulating authority, the regulating body for licensed brokers in the capital markets is the Capital Markets Authority of Rwanda. The Capital Markets Authority of Rwanda has partnered with the Certified Institute for Securities and Investment. So this is an international organization that gives the tests so that you can be licensed. So I will share their link in the description. So went on their website, and so from there's information about the program for Rwanda. There's information about how you can get a 50% discount so that you can take this test if you want to be licensed in Rwanda, which is great. Found out that 50% discount does not apply to me because I'm located in the diaspora. Is it a big deal? Well, not really, but it would have been nice to get a 50% discount on taking the exam. Now, the exam is in two sections. The first part is £342, and once you pay for the part one of this exam, you get study material. And so if you want, you can just use that material, or you can pay for a study program, as we have them here as well in the United States. So then there you go. So you pay for the exam, you study for the exam, you take the exam. The pass rate is 70%, so that's fine. Now, so from my interactions yesterday, this is my my assessment. So the Capital Markets Authority of Rwanda is very responsive. If you have questions, they answer you within less than 30 minutes, so that's great. Number two, there might be a glitch in the system a little bit. When you want to register for that exam, you have to register for, let me see. You have to register for the Introduction to Securities and Investment portion of it, and they want you to pick a specific one. And it was hard for me to find that one, but it's okay because we went through the motions, and so now I'm able to register for the right one. Not an issue there. So very responsive. Might be a couple of glitches in the system, but it's not a big deal. What I want to do is, once I get the study materials, which you do get them once you pay for the exam, you get an electronic study material. And so I'm going to go through the material and share this with you on this YouTube channel so we can learn together about the CMA exam. Now, I was also really pondering on the Aguka fund. So yesterday I interchanged the Virunga fund with the Aguka Unit Trust Fund. So just a little correction there. The Virunga fund is an investment fund that is in Rwanda, but that was not the right word. The fund that I wanted to share with you all that is very liquid is called the Aguka Unit Trust Fund. So I was thinking about how the goal is we want Rwandans to invest for retirement. We want them to invest in the Aguka fund. So now it comes back to, how do we convey this message to the Rwandans in the diaspora? It's difficult yet achievable. So one thing that I have to research a little bit is to learn more about marketing for retirement. When you're for retirement security, so for so for retirement securities in another country. So I did read some language about it being illegal to market in the United States, to people in the United States to invest elsewhere. I'm not so sure that it's illegal. I wonder where that language came from, because you know, as long as you're marketing for something that is actually real, you should be fine. So I'm going to do a little more research there and see what that's about. On the other hand, a little lesson about closing. So closing is the process of turning a potential client into an actual client, a potential investor into an actual investor. How long should closing take? It shouldn't take forever. It should definitely be within, if you really want to be lazy about it, or if you want to leave it to chance, you can close a client within 1 year. But if you follow up with them, then that time becomes much, much shorter. So when it comes to the Aguka Unit Trust Fund, it's hard to find unless you're interested in Rwanda. So we have to address that somehow. Maybe what we can do in the diaspora is to talk about the Aguka Unit Trust Fund, so that it is on YouTube, so that if you type in Rwanda retirement, that's going to pop up so that people can know about it. So we have to make the public aware. Number two, they're aware. Great. What do you do? So one of the things you have to do when you are investing in any country and you're not located there, you have to fill out a form. This form is commonly known as Know Your Client. So one thing we should do is have that Know Your Client form readily available to the public, so that they don't have to spend too much time finding it. One thing that we should definitely address, and this is just us moving into the future, all right? So when you think about people in the diaspora, we have a very, very low attention span. We want information right now. We want it quickly. So I want to know what I need to do to get what I want right now. So in order for me to even start investing, if I need to fill out that Know Your Client form, that form has to be very user-friendly. So the form that was forwarded to me by my broker in Bank of Kigali, it's a PDF form, which means I have to download it, print it, I have to fill it out, I have to upload it or take a picture of it, send it to my broker. That takes time if you're, especially if you're very busy, number one. Number two, for some people in the diaspora, it just might be too, it's just, it takes too long. So I think what we should do is have an electronic Know Your Client form. So all of the brokers that are listed on the RSC website should have an electronic Know Your Client form. You don't have to have all of the questions there, because on some of the questions you have to have an ID. You have to have your ID number, upload a picture of your ID. So that might take a little, that because it's confidential information, we have to think about how to host this form. And there are websites, subscriptions that we can pay for, where a client's information, it can be safely uploaded in the system. So in accounting and tax preparation, we use these portals often. So we have to change that Know Your Client form from a PDF format to an electronic format. So let's say, myself, one day I have free time. I'm on YouTube. I type in Rwanda retirement, Vision 2050. and I see a video that talks about the Aguka Unit Trust Fund. I watched that video, and also that video should not be too long, less than 2 minutes. And also probably not just one video, several. So I know that the Bank of Kigali, they do have that video on their website, but it needs to make its way on social media, on YouTube. So, I'm on YouTube watching it, and I'm very interested. So underneath the video, we're going to have some links. I'm going to click on the link, the Know Your Client form, or some part of it. On that form, I'm going to put in my email address, and it would be nice if I could have a question that says, how much would you like your first investment to be? And if we could have maybe $100, $200, $500. So let them just tell you a little bit about what they want to do. And once you have that email, then you can follow up with them. Then you can send them a link where they can upload those documents securely. So, and also once you have that email, it's good to follow up with them. Just to, a thank you email. Thank you for filling out this form. Here is what we need from you so that you can invest the number that you mentioned on that, electronic KYC. So that's definitely something we should do. Another thing that we should do is, so if you're in the diaspora, if you're Rwandan living in the diaspora, there is a part of government in Rwanda called Minaffet, which is Minaffet Rwanda, which is the, it's for the Rwandan community abroad that caters to Rwandans living abroad. So that Aguka Unit Trust Fund should be mentioned on the Minaffet website. In terms of legality, I'm pretty sure it is legal. I don't see an issue with that. So that's something that you might want to have just a little something, about it, with a nice link, that people can click on to watch a couple of videos, and that will also have that Know Your Client form. So any Rwandan abroad that goes on the Minaffet website will see that video, will fill out that link, that questionnaire, electronic questionnaire, and they will get a follow-up email and with the link so that they can share their documents electronically. If you do that, that gives you more lists to work with. And the reason why I say lists is because in order to really make a sale, you have to have a list. You have to have contact information. And so having that, the part one of the Know Your Client form available on all platforms, YouTube. You can have someone on Twitter whose job is to just maybe share the Aguka Unit Trust Fund video with that links to Know Your Client. So YouTube, Twitter, also LinkedIn, and then there's another list that the Rwandan government has that I do want them to make use of, or this is just a suggestion. So Rwanda, usually, I haven't followed the news on this recently, but they have something called Rwanda Day. So this is where you have the diaspora, so Rwandans and friends of Rwanda, they meet with government officials sometimes, or maybe all the time. The president of Rwanda attends these meetings, and these are forums that are abroad, right? So anybody that goes to the Rwanda Day, the Diaspora Rwanda Day, so we have their contact information, right? We know their names, we have their email address, we know they're interested in Rwanda. From that list, you can probably tell who is a Rwandan and who is a friend of Rwanda. So for the Rwandans that are part of the Diaspora Rwanda Day, you have that information, you need to follow up with them. And it doesn't have to be something that you do. So I do believe that so on the Minaffet website, it says that over 30,000 people have participated in Rwanda Day. So that means that you have over 30,000 email addresses. If you could have even 10% of them complete a Know Your Client list or a Know Your Client questionnaire, if we could follow up with that information, and have 5,000 people invest in the Aguka Unit Trust Fund. That's 5,000 people investing $100. That's $500,000, which would be in Rwandan francs 500 million Rwandan francs. So those lists are valuable. They're very valuable. So I do encourage for whoever is part of sharing the information. I don't know if they're in Minaffet or if there's someone at the Aguka Unit Trust Fund to get that list and to see what you can do with it. If you don't have someone that can do that, send me a message. So I'm going to be on Twitter more often, so you can also message me on Twitter, see what we can all do as Rwandans living in the diaspora. So this is very important to have. Number one, make that information available on all platforms, because not every Rwandan is going to know about the Aguka Unit Trust Fund. And again, I'm talking about the Aguka Unit Trust Fund because that's the most liquid fund that I know of that pays you dividends twice a year, and it's tax-free. So that's in terms of risking your $100. That's risk-free pretty much, and the return on your $100, I believe, is 10%. So not only can you afford it, it's very liquid. So if you wanted to cash out your investments, you can get it within 48 hours. So it is, and it's also approved by the governing bodies, so by the Capital Markets Authority. You also have, it's managed by the Bank of Kigali. So affordable, liquid, and pretty much risk-free and tax-free. So that's the reason why I'm talking about the Aguka Fund, but I'm sure that there are more, and as I go through the material and the information available, I will share that with you. So we can have 5,000 people to contact if we work on this. And it's not that one person has to send 5,000 emails, because these days we do have applications such as MailChimp that can send 5,000, 10,000 emails automatically. You just type in the email addresses that you have, you type in the format of the email, and it will just send, an email. You can send it every month, every 3 months, every 6 months. So it's not that 1,000 has to follow up with everyone. Just you can get a subscription at MailChimp and then work on that list. And again, if you don't have somebody that is able to do that, just feel free to contact me and I will see what I can do. So that was just my December 17th check-in. Again, to go back with the progress report. So I know how much the CMA exam costs, and I know that I could take it remotely. Great. Once I get the material, the study material, I will start sharing it with you on this YouTube channel. So do like, subscribe, and share because it's going to be free study material for you. Number 3, I just had some thoughts I wanted to share regarding closing from a potential investor to an actual investor. And one of the things you definitely need to do, or actually 2 things. Number 1, you have to have contact information. And number two, you have to follow up on that information. The way that you can get contact information is have more presence on social media, not just on a specific website, because a lot of people in the diaspora will not really go to that website. They don't know about it. So have it on social media. Have someone that will share the information on all platforms. And part of that information is an electronic know your client form, or part of it anyway, because we don't really want people to upload their photo IDs. For example, on Google Drive, there are platforms that are secure where people can upload sensitive information, and I can look up which ones there are. So share the information on platforms, get that email. Once you have that email, send mass follow emails, follow up with those contact information. So not only share on all platforms, also share this information on the Minaffet website, because that's where the diaspora Rwandans usually end up going for information. So have that information also maybe on the Minaffet website. And so number three, so we have to have it. So let's see. So we go back to have it on social media platforms, right? Number two, the Minaffet website. And number three, I just had it just now and I'm forgetting. Oh yes, the list. The list of for Rwanda Day. If 30,000 people have participated in Rwanda Day, you can get even 10% of them to invest in the Aguka Unit Trust Fund. And again, that's just an example, because that's the most, it's liquid, it's safe, it's tax-free. So that was just the update for now. I will have more information for you all. So thank you for watching this video, and talk to you soon.